Okay, so today we are going to fix my son's Joy-Con that broke. First thing you need to do, if you don't have a small set of screwdrivers, I got this little kit here. I'll give you a link to it. It's actually pretty cheap. So it's handy to have for all kinds of electronic devices. But for this particular piece, you really just need some very small Phillips screwdrivers for what we're doing today, which is taking this apart and putting onto this. The first thing we have to do is get this off. Now, if you already have a switch, you know what's going on. You have this button that you release and it takes it on and off. The problem is on this one, the button is missing. So we need to get it off, okay? In order to get it off, you should be able to just press on this white piece, I think. Let's see, there's somewhere we're gonna press. Oh, it's this, I don't know if you can see it. It's this piece right here. And I'm gonna press down on that, and that will let this slide off, okay? So if you don't see it right away, just play with it. But you're gonna have to get this off first, okay? So I'll kind of set this out of the way. Now, you notice it's got these little cables here. I've done this a few times, and I don't know if you can tell, they kind of connect. If you don't reconnect to the inside here, then it's not going to, it can still work. You can still play this, but it's not gonna work as far as, you know, all the control stuff. So if you reconnect this, it will help out on that. Now, one thing that has happened, again, let me take this one here, where you have this button here that comes, somehow it came out of this, maybe on one of the times I fixed it. I don't know what happened to it, but you don't have to have it. It's not a necessity. You can just take the screwdriver and press down on it, kind of what I just did, and you'll see in a moment here. But anyway, so what we need to do is take this off. Let's see if I get. What you have to do is you have to kind of press hard in order to get it off. And you need to be somewhere where you're not going to lose the screws. I'm doing it on a recliner chair as far as the footrest because screws don't bounce real hard off that. So you can get you some sort of a mat or whatever works for you. Just make sure you're not going to lose the screws, okay? Get them all off, because when they fall, if they fall on a hard surface, they can bounce, and they've done it to me, and you don't want them to bounce because it's very frustrating when you're already trying to fix something to have to go back and find a little screw. Okay, one more here. Okay, just gotta get it in there. And again, you kind of, the nice thing about these, by the way, is they turn opposite of this. So you can put a little pressure here as you're turning. So it's pretty handy, honestly. I don't know if you can see me doing that. All right, so now this is gonna come off. Again, if this is the first time you're doing it or the second time or anything, think about this button here, or where the button would be. It's missing. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one over here because that's the one I used for these screws. And I'm doing this ahead of time telling you because I've done this before. Okay, so that just comes off. There's a little chip here that it just kind of slips in and out. This is actually a little battery or whatever, so no big deal, but I'm gonna slip that back in there. Now, what I tend to do when I'm doing this, you can kind of see where it needs to go. And yeah, so you can kind of, what you need to do is kind of line up right in here. There's a little piece that this strip is going to plug into. And here's where you're going to need another little set of, again, if you have them at home or something, you can use that. They're basically tweezers. This is how I do it anyway. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this into this little space here, which I don't know how much you can see it. You probably can't, but it will just kind of plug in. It's not that difficult. Okay, I'm gonna go where I can see it a little bit better, hopefully. Yeah, I can see it a little bit better here, so I can see what I'm doing. So get where you can see it. And there's a little slot, you just slide it under there. Instead of trying to take everything apart, I find that this seems to work pretty good. And it's actually in there. It's in there, okay? So that's pretty good, that's in there. Now this piece, oh my gosh, I don't know what, okay, there's another piece under there that goes into, which last time I fixed it, it came out of this side, so. And honestly, if it comes out of this side, there was nothing it attached to here. I just put it under here and it may be touching something that helps. But here I can kind of see there's a piece that I probably have to plug it into here. All right, I got it. And again, there's just these little slots. I hope you have good eyes. If you don't, wear glasses. I'm having to wear some reading glasses just to see a little bit better. And I don't really have a lot of light in here, but I've done it a few times so I already kind of know what I'm looking for. If you don't know, there's a piece that goes over here. It's just like a little, if you don't know anything about electronics, it's just it's a little plug-in thing. It just slots in there and you can see it. Just get a magnifying glass or take your phone and magnify it, whatever you can. You may have to even, go where you can see, even if it's outside for a minute, so you see what you're looking at, and then you'll see the piece to slot it into. So anyway, after you do that, just kind of make sure that this little thing here comes out sometimes. Make sure that's in there. And again, if you have your button that should be here, which I don't, so it doesn't matter, but if you do, make sure that goes back in here. And that's about the only piece that falls out. And then just put it back together here. And it's pretty easy. You can see it just slides right in here. And don't kink up these pieces that you just fixed, but it should roll over. And then there we go. I don't know why that was. So anyway, for some reason this gap was not closing up. It's closed up now. I don't know why, but anyway, let's get that taken care of and screw this back together. It doesn't take too long, but it is kind of weird if you're not used to doing it. And you never know when you go into something what's gonna come out of it. So always be a little cautious as you're taking things apart, and before you start, kind of have a nice place to work from, whether it's your recliner chair or whatever you feel comfortable doing. And if you got to get up and move, make sure it's not gonna knock pieces all over the place. Make sure your dog or your cat or whatever is not around to come and jump on and start playing. Okay, so it's all back together. I honestly don't know how to play this thing, but it slips on just like that. Now, again, where this one has the button and slides off, this one doesn't, but you may not have that problem. But if you do, all you gotta do is just get something. It doesn't have to be a screwdriver. Just anything that's not gonna break to push down, and then it too will come off. It's just a little release. So anyway, that's all you gotta do. And let's see, turn it on. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll hit A, continue. Okay, it all works now. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.